Students are taking a stand as the topic of mass deportations reaches the UNT campus.
Do couples who stream together stay together? We'll explain how TV can help strengthen your relationship this Valentine's Day.
And Denton rings in the Lunar New Year with a flavor-packed celebration.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Avery Callens.
And I'm Aaliyah Bordeaux. UNT student activists and advocacy groups are making their voices heard as a protest against ICE deportations. Our live shot reporter Andy Scott has more on the story. Andy?
Thanks, Aaliyah. Today was just the first protest of many, and it all started right here. At noon, hundreds gathered at the university to protest mass deportations happening all over the country. The UNT Gammas and other student associations used their social media to gather the attention of many over the past week. To start, organizers gave their opening remarks before marching around buildings on campus a total of 3 times. Following the second lap, there was an open mic to allow protesters to speak, while others used chalk to write throughout the library mall.
We have a network of organizations on campus, and so every executive was talking and with each other and was scared and wanted to do something. And then it took one person from our sorority, Elena, to just send a message out saying we should really do something on campus. And from there, it was immediate. Everyone was on board, and we got to just get the ball rolling.
If you missed this one, the fight isn't over. So be on the lookout for more events just like this one. That's all I have for you now. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Andy. You know what, Aaliyah? My dog is not having this gloomy weather. All I see are clouds in the sky, and it doesn't look like it's looking up soon.
Me either, and I'm sure most Texans feel the same way. But our weather anchor, Faith Webster, is going to give us a closer look on what we should expect. Faith?
I definitely agree with your dog. I am not having this gloomy weather at all. We are going to see temperatures at 36 degrees today, feeling like 26, and that's going to be because of that wind that's coming through our North Texas area at 15 miles per hour. Moving on into tonight, we are going to see some of those clouds still hanging around with our temperatures coming down just a little bit at 34 degrees, feeling like 25 still, but that wind coming just down a little bit at 12 miles per hour. Moving on into tomorrow, our temperatures are going to start to rise at 39 degrees, feeling like 34, because our wind is starting to drop at 6 miles per hour. We are going to see some clouds and rain throughout this week, but I'll have more on that later in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Faith. While the temperatures are going down, prices are unfortunately going up again. New numbers just out today show inflation climbed again in January. Consumer prices went up 0.5% from December, and that means things like groceries and gasoline got more expensive. The inflation rate is now at a 3% for the first time since June of last year. January was the 4th straight month that the inflation rate went up. But it is far lower than its peak, which happened in the summer of 2022.
As President Trump looks to follow through on his demand to eliminate the Department of Education, rumors are circulating if the student loan payments would potentially go away. One rumor is centered around privacy protections in the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA. A current court case alleges the Department of Government Efficiency is risking unlawful disclosure of data due to its approach. Many people think that the DOE gone forgiveness for the student loans could also be pushed. But Forbes reports that this is not true, citing a previous FERPA Supreme Court case.
5 years later, students are still feeling the sting of the COVID pandemic. This is according to a report released by Dartmouth, Harvard, and Stanford universities. The report found that today's students are academically behind roughly a year and a half. This is compared to students back in 2019. One of the biggest factors is chronic absenteeism in the years following COVID. Scholars recommend summer school and tutoring as a way for students to catch up.
If you've got an iPhone, your personal information could be at risk. We have a solution.
And love is in the air at UNT with a love-fueled bash. We'll have a live look after the break.
Or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DatQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DatQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DatQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DatQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
Attention iPhone users, if you haven't installed the latest iOS update, you might want to get on that pretty soon. A security breach could either allow other parties to access your device, even when locked and password protected.
In an announcement on Monday, the tech giant said that the feature could leave iPhones and iPads open to exploitation by hackers and law enforcement. USB restricted mode is the problematic feature, even though it was developed in response to a popular hacking tool.
Apple said that the issue is most likely being used to attack very specific targets, so most users are not at risk, but it's best to update your devices anyway. Robo-taxis are coming to North Texas sooner than you think. The rideshare company Lyft said this week that autonomous vehicles will be in Dallas by next year. Lyft is partnering with Japanese company Marubeni and its Mobileye technology to bring the technology to DFW. Officials say that once driverless cars roll onto the streets, Lyft users will have the option to pick an autonomous ride or a human driver. In an effort to serve and connect, Lyft said it's excited to bring Marubeni along for the ride.
All right, Avery, do you have any plans this weekend?
I don't think so, but me and my dog are hoping to face the colder weather with our hearts and our minds in the right place. Okay. We'll deal with it.
All right, and our weather anchor, Faith Webster, has more on that full weather. Faith?
Yeah, guys, that groundhog surely wasn't lying about that 6 more weeks of winter. I'm for sure feeling it around North Texas right now. We have our mid to low 30s throughout the central North Texas area. We are going to see our highest temperatures at 40 degrees in Sulphur Springs and 40 over here in Dallas. Moving on across the state of Texas, we are going to see a much wider range of temperatures. Up in Amarillo, we have 17 degrees, and in El Paso, we're going to have 60 degrees. That's an insane widespread of temperatures. But throughout this week here in Denton, we are going to feel some clouds and see some gloom. But Saturday is definitely the day to bring out your pups, have a great day outside, because it's the only day of sun we are going to see throughout this week. Our temperatures are going to drop starting Monday, and Tuesday we are going to see that rain chance. Don't forget those umbrellas. Moving on into Wednesday, we're going to see around the same temperatures, but slightly higher at 41 degrees. Hope you have an amazing week, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Faith. Experts say romantic partners feel closer and build connections over shared experiences. And this includes watching TV shows and movies together. This might even mean binge watching shows can strengthen relationships. CNN's Michael Yoshiba has a story.
Netflix and chilling to a better relationship.
If couples are having some tension or having some difficulty sort of connecting, I often suggest that they find a TV show to watch together.
Research has found staying home and watching TV together can provide benefits for close relationships, particularly when couples lack shared friends or social networks.
There's something very nice about just sort of being in the same space and not having it fraught with any kind of discussions about family and kids and finances or relationship.
But with so many different streaming options and shows to choose from, do you have to find the perfect series to watch?
I think part of what's beneficial, it's not just the show, it's the ritual. It's kind of making a time together. Watching TV together is a really good way to decompress and do something that's not controversial or emotionally charged.
So, what are some best practices? Be consistent. Set a time for the show and each other. No devices. Really be in the moment and space together. And like with many things, communication.
I just think the most important thing is, to compromise, but have an open mind and not be afraid to experiment with another show that you might not be interested in.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
And speaking of Valentine's Day, get ready to brush up on those dance moves. Our reporter Jenny Yanez is at the Pole Rec Center across campus with a preview of a fun event happening tonight. Jenny?
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here at the Pole Recreation Center at the UNT campus, where tonight the Department of Student Affairs will be having sort of a Lonely Hearts dance. The Cupid's Dance Party will be going on from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. here in the Group Fitness Studio A. This Valentine's event is free to attend, but you will need an active Rec Center membership to get in. But good news if you're a student, because it's already included in your tuition. So make sure you bring that ID and bring on that love tonight. Back to you guys at the studio.
Ooh, Aaliyah, I might have to get my groove on like Jenny is about to.
That's what I'm saying. We might have to go after the show.
Yes, yes. And love is in the air, and it's not just my love for chocolate. Let's take it over to Nadia to see how the Denton community is celebrating this Valentine's Day. Nadia?
Thanks, Avery. You are correct. With V-Day approaching, there have been many activities to celebrate love in North Texas. ntTV's Maddie Holston attended the Denton Parks and Rec My Little Valentine Dance. Check it out.
At the My Little Valentine Family Dance in Denton, Texas, you'll find smiles all around. This past weekend, hundreds of families rushed to the Denton Civic Center for a Valentine's Day celebration. With sweet treats to flip book memories, this dance had it all.
This is our My Little Valentine family dance with Denton Parks and Recreations. We have about 500 participants total throughout the dance, and we really just host this event to have all families, Denton residents come out and just enjoy Valentine's, get to dance with one another, and just have a good night. Decorations started probably 2 weeks ago. We hung a lot of our decorations, and we worked with 3 to 5 vendors. We're just so excited to see everybody's faces light up as soon as brings joy to our hearts, for sure.
You might say you're too old, but this dance really is for all ages. Even I got to join in on some of the Valentine's Day fun.
Feeling a little bit awkward, but I like spending it with my dad. Here we go!
I think it's always great when the community gives an opportunity for parents to have positive interactions with their kids.
For some families, this dance has become a yearly tradition.
I had a friend who told us about it 13 years ago, and we just started coming, and 13 years later, it's one of the greatest things we do.
The Denton City Parks and Recreation team always finds a way to keep the community members engaged, and the My Little Valentine Family Dance was the perfect way to do it. A big win for Denton by keeping it positive. With North Texas Television, I'm Maddie Holston.
It's safe to say that love is in the air this week. This dance will return next year, so mark your calendars and join in on the fun here. That's all from me. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Thanks, Nadia. Well, not only are UNT students down to party, but they're also down for a good laugh as well. We'll explain coming up.
Plus, Denton foodies celebrated the Lunar New Year in a big way. I've got an inside look after the break.
1, 2, 3. Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
back. Aaliyah, there are so many fun activities to do at UNT. We just talked about the Valentine's Day dance, but I'm looking for something a little bit more consistent.
Well, I have a solution for you. There's actually a comedy club here on campus. Our segment anchor Marissa Bender caught some recent laughs and is here to tell us more. Marissa?
Thanks, guys. If you want to start out your week with a smile and a good laugh, then Comedy UNT is the place for you. Comedy UNT is one of the many clubs you can find here on campus, and you can catch them every Monday at their very own comedy show. I got the chance to watch one of these fantastic shows, so let's take a look.
Feeling stressed or under the weather? Need a way to brighten up your day and get a good laugh? Then make sure to catch UNT's comedy shows every Monday.
My name is Jacqueline O'Neill. I am the president of Comedy UNT. Comedy UNT is a huge club right now, actually. We have 3 branches of comedy, so we're a performance group. We do improv comedy, which is your, completely improvised on-the-spot scenes and games, like Whose Line Is It Anyway? We do sketch comedy, like Saturday Night Live, and we do stand-up comedy, like your Jerry Seinfelds of the world, and John Mulaney's if you're more modern. So we do all 3 of those things. We put on big shows. We put on shows every week where we do improv. We do stand-up at these big variety shows, and we have performing improv troupes. So we have 2 of them, a long-form and a short-form troupe. We're all over campus.
Located at Union 332, Comedy UNT puts on their very own improv shows from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And this show is loaded with tons of jokes.
But you're literally an armor. You know that's my biggest fear. Why would you say that?
Audience participation.
All right. I'll come back to that right here.
And energy.
Get up out my game, because in this, I'm the only name. What's up?
Improv is completely on the spot, never been performed before comedy. So we do scenes like someone will get a suggestion from the audience like toilet paper, and then the scene will be about or involving toilet paper in some way, shape, or form. And so improvisers will be completely on the spot, coming up with things to do, ways to say it. There'll be different characters, they'll be basing it off of real life people. It can be all over the place. Improv is totally fluid.
When you go to an improv show, you are not only guaranteed a unique, never-before-seen experience, but also a great time.
Monday shows, I'm on my, I'm laughing, belly laughing so hard that I'm crying. It's so silly, it's so fun, so interactive. I love coming to the shows Monday. It's a ritual for me.
If you're interested in joining the club or want to keep up with all their events, make sure to follow them on Instagram at Comedy UNT. And don't forget to start your week off with a good laugh at their improv shows.
If you are interested in watching Comedy UNT's improv shows, then you definitely don't want to miss next Monday for their very first Play-to-Play show, a show where donations from the audience can change everything. Well, that's all from me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Marisa. A few Sundays ago, Denton celebrated the Lunar New Year in a tasty way. From Asian street food to anime, the Otaku Food Festival brought it all right here to Denton. Take a look.
On a normal gloomy Sunday, Denton's Golden Triangle Mall was full of life for the Otaku Food Festival.
We do have a lot of people coming in from Dallas and Fort Worth going up here just for this event. And this event in particular is very special because this is also Lunar New Year, Year of the Snake.
Vincent Tran started this event with his first-hand experience of cooking Asian street food.
So I started cooking Japanese food outside, and right now there's a booth out there. It's my brother's now. But I started doing that as a vendor, and I noticed that, usually if it's a Vietnamese event, it's only for Vietnamese people. If it's a Chinese event, it's only for the Chinese people. And I wanted to open up to everybody.
And for this Lunar New Year, he did just that.
4 years of work has brought this out. So it's a mix of anime and then street food. The street food, we don't do food trucks because we want our food to be, I want people to be able to see me.
Well, I think the space itself is really great. I know the camera doesn't show it, but we have all these indoor trees and they all have fairy lights on them, and there's a stage and there's all this music. It doesn't feel like a mall. It's a nice little performance space. It's so bright,
Rebecca Chiara Morano is a voice actor from the Denton area and loves bringing the world of anime to life.
It brings all of us so much joy when we have someone that comes up to the table, whether it's like someone my age, someone older, a child, and they're like, oh, I love that series.
Before I left, you know I had to try these adorable capybara buns everyone was lined up for.
Look at how adorable these are. I could cry.
And I wasn't kidding. They were delicious. With North Texas Television, I'm Avery Callens.
I'm still thinking about those capybara buns, and if you want to give them a try, the Otaco Food Festival will be coming back to DFW. It'll be in April for their Cherry Blossom Festival, so make sure to follow Otaco Food Festival on Instagram to get the latest date.
Avery, that food is just what I need to recover from that Luka Doncic trade.
I hear you, girl. I hear you. But I do hear that the UNT basketball team is making some big moves in a good way. Let's go ahead and take it over to our sports anchor, Jose Moreno, to see what's going on. Jose?
That's right. After the break, UNT men's and women's basketball teams are making big moves as well as some drama in the European soccer world. Don't go anywhere.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have two traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants.
I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Pull out your record books because history is in the making here in Denton, Texas, as our Mean Green women's basketball team are only one win short of breaking the North Texas single-season home game wins record. UNT is currently at 12 home wins with a huge game here tonight at the Super Pit against Memphis. This season has been a miracle so far for the Mean Green with huge wins over USF, Wichita State, Tulane, and Temple. Head coach Jason Burton has been instrumental in reviving this program and might get rewarded with a record 2 seasons into his tenure here at UNT. But the job is not yet finished, as all eyes are on these girls as they hope to make the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1986, the same year, by the way, that the cinematic masterpiece known as Howard the Duck was released in theaters. It has been a dramatic set of days over in Europe as the second round of the UEFA Champions League has officially kicked off, as Real Madrid took on their perpetual foe Manchester City in an absolute belter of a game. Mbappe and Haaland, the two best players in the world, had a duel for the ages as Erling scored 2 goals and Mbappe scored in the 60th to ramp up a Madrid comeback. But in the 92nd minute, with the game stuck at 2-2, Real's Jude Bellingham smashed it in the bottom corner to pull out a huge win for Los Blancos. Other highlights this week were Bruges stunning Atalanta with a 2-1 victory, and a weekend Feyenoord, who just fired their coach and sold their star striker to Milan, ended up winning over the ladder in a shock win. Can Bruges keep up the momentum? Will Feyenoord complete the impossible? Is the season finished for Man City? We'll find out next week as the second leg of games will be played. Well, before I go, I have a very special gift for y'all. We sent our very own Seth Wickman over to the Super Pit for the UNT versus Tulane game that happened this past week on Saturday. And he's got the inside scoop on our own men's basketball program. Here, take a look.
The Mean Green men's basketball had to fight to keep their spot in the standings on Saturday. The Tulane Green Wave came to the Super Pit for an attempt to overtake third place in the American Athletic Conference. This game was crucial for North Texas to get back to their identity since they lost their last 2 games.
The game plan in general was just to do what we do and get back to our defensive identity. We didn't really have it dialed in on one player. We just wanted to get back to playing good defense.
The team fulfilled their goal of playing good defense, recording 25 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. But another focal point the team planned on pursuing was being shot ready.
If you can step into it and shoot it, and shoot it with confidence. And I felt like that messaging helps, so you're not trying to, read between the lines. Does coach want me to shoot this shot or does he not want me to shoot this shot?
UNT sunk a season best 11 shots from deep. And a successful day of 3-pointers also gives opportunity for open lanes in the paint.
And then when you're shot ready, that also opens up drives, which I thought we did a good combination of moving the ball, because they can definitely stagnate you at times with the zone, but we moved the ball, we were ready to shoot, and when we weren't ready, when we couldn't shoot, we drove it with some authority.
UNT ended up beating Tulane 76-66. For ntTV Sports, I'm Seth Wickman.
Well, gang, that's all I have for you guys today. Back to your girls over at the desk.
Thanks, Jose. And the aftermath of the LA wildfires, an Arizona animal rescue group has set up to help cats left behind. Fearless Kitty Rescue shuttled roughly 20 felines from California to Arizona in hopes of them finding a new home. They'll be up for adoption in about a week. This is good news for many LA shelters as they're overflowing with lost pets.
Well, Aaliyah, my dog might have a new friend soon because those kitties are adorable.
I know.
All right, guys, thank you for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.